Work it, girl.
It turned out really nice. I used a purple and a peacock green, and the blending turned out really good.
Hello and welcome back to Baker Brews and kind of a chatty life update, the things that are going on in our world here. I just want to fill you guys in, chat a little bit about the pregnancy, my experience with the midwife, the baby chicks. Like, we just got a lot going on. Spring is in the air, so there's just a lot happening. There's a lot brewing at the Baker house. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Donna, and here on this channel we chat about homesteading in the city, and I share a ton of our family adventures. I have 2 boys that I homeschool, and I'm currently pregnant. I'm still in my 2nd trimester, just barely. We're like 28 weeks in like 5 days. So we're at the cusp of the end of the 2nd trimester. I totally meant to film and like track some stuff at the halfway point at 20 weeks, and then I don't know what happened. All of a sudden we're at 28 weeks. So time is going really fast. So I thought, oh my gosh, I better like record something quick. Otherwise it's not even gonna happen. Then I'm not gonna have anything. So I just wanted to fill you guys in a little bit about that and how the pregnancy stuff is all going. But yeah, spring wise, like I got some plants that I started indoors that already look like they need to go outside. They're getting really big.
Sometimes you gotta use what you got.
So that is really exciting. And the kids are enjoying spending so much more time outdoors now that it's nice outside. We're out in the backyard every day right after lessons. We're like outside. They want to be outside. They want to play on the swings and with their chickens. So
To push you on the swings. Wah! Wah!
I love that. I just think that like getting outside in the morning, there's something about like that good energy and just the fresh air and everything. So that has been so nice to do now that the weather is turning here. But who knows if it's gonna frost or not. Like, I've never bought tarps or anything to put over my plants to protect them if it does frost. So yeah, maybe this will be the year I invest in that. We'll see. But aside from that, we have baby chicks this year, which has been so exciting. This year I bought the chicks already alive and hatched instead of hatching from eggs. So we are replacing our old ones. They have just really declined in their egg production. Typically I was getting 1 egg per day per chicken, and then in the winter I expected them to decrease, but they didn't in all of their years that we've had them until this year. This year we saw a decrease over the winter. So then I was like, hubby, I need new chickens. Let's upgrade. So finally, our last batch of chicks was like 4 years ago. So yeah, so it's been 3-4 years that we've had these girls, and we have 3 left. We have Skywalker, R2-D2, and Patty, or Padme. So obviously we have a Star Wars theme for our chickens. Oh, my digging girls, you must be enjoying that freshly churned dirt. And so our new chicks that we got 2 new breeds. So for those of you that don't know, I have done the urban backyard chicken program in the city. So I had to apply, go through all the hoops and jumps and get my coop like permitted and all that jazz. So that is all like done. The chickens are awesome because like initially you do a lot of work up front, but then after that it's like a breeze for like maintenance and yeah, getting them, and it's very easy, and you get eggs every day. Like I love my productive pets like so much. So we got these baby chicks. We got Colombian rocks, which are a white chicken with like black like a little bit of black to them, mostly white. And then we also got Americanas, which they are super cool. They are a heritage breed chicken, and they will grow like a muff or like a beard. So I'm very excited to see that.
So these are his muffs. He's cutie muffs.
He's got some cute muffs, doesn't he? Hey, Poofball. Yeah, you're pretty spry now. But
she talks really weird. She's like not as loud. They have such a small beak. Ooh, look at his little muffs.
He's got them cute little muffs going on, doesn't he? Getting tufty there.
has like really fat muffins.
I think he's got some cute muffs coming in, hey?
Can I hold?
Yeah, you hold him 2 hands. You got him? Good, hold him steady. Right there in front of the camera. That's a perfect shot.
Babies.
Boofball's getting pretty big for you to carry, hey honey? Ugh. They are also supposed to lay like blue-green eggs, which will be really pretty because we've only ever had chickens that lay brown eggs, essentially. So we have Rhode Island Reds and we have one barred Plymouth Rock. So, and that's, we call her the zebra chicken. She's like the zebra colored one. So those are the 2 breeds that we already have. And then yeah, we're gonna integrate with the 2 new breeds. Good morning, guys. I just wanted to give you a little update. We are out on the tractor, right? Driving the tractor this morning. The baby chicks are 4 weeks old, probably just a touch over 4 weeks old, and we have finally had nice enough weather to put them outside. Yeah?
So it's like, so I had the hook on the back of
Okay.
the tractor and it pulls the hook around.
And it pulls the, yeah, you got a
And then it
hitch.
hooks onto that.
The hockey net.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then the chicks were a
Oh,
little
I like-
wide and they'll put them.
Okay, you're so funny.
Tractor.
So the chicks are 4 weeks old. The weather is finally nice enough that we have taken them outside, which is lovely. I love that they're outside. The kids get to play with them and enjoy them outside, and we get to spend more time outside in general now that the weather's nice. Baby chicks typically start to go outside at around 5 weeks old. But as long as the weather is over 10 degrees Celsius, then we're pretty good to have them outside. We have been having them on our sun deck. So at nighttime, I'll bring them in, put them on the sun deck in their big box. They eat, drink, sleep, and then in the morning, as soon as we're done all of our schoolwork and lessons, we ship them outside. And they are currently hanging out under the makeshift chicken run, which is the hockey net setup. Just because we are doing the slow integration, because we still have some of our old ones. I don't want too much cross-contamination by putting the small ones in with the big ones yet. So the small ones are under the hockey net just to keep them safe too. And they're not, then I don't have them all running around the yard and I can't catch them. And then the older ones the kids can let out and play with as well. So that is the setup with the chickens. I just love that the weather is so much nicer outside. Okay, speaking of like chicks and the spring season, we are also rabbit sitting for friends or pet sitting. So we have friends who have a rabbit, so it's perfect for Easter time. We always try and make it a thing to like go and visit these friends that have this rabbit, because we rabbit sat Twixie over Easter. Oh gosh, it must have been a couple of years ago, and the kids loved it. Like, it was really fun to have a pet rabbit for a little while. I have bad allergies to it, and actually so does my firstborn, so we will never own a rabbit, but I love the experience of like having this pet, caring for it. It's a totally different experience, and just having a pet rabbit in general. So if you are interested in like rabbit care, I have a whole video about how we took care of the rabbit the first time. There were so many interesting little things that we learned, and I love that. So this time we get to host the rabbit just for a few days while our friends are traveling, and I think it's just a really cool experience that the kids will get to have. We're still doing the homeschool thing. I gotta submit the receipts for that. So here in Alberta, you can apply and be on a board, and then they basically talk to the government. So you submit receipts to the board, and then they get the money from the government, and then they give you the money, is my understanding. So yeah, I gotta submit receipts for that. My oldest is technically kindergarten, and yeah, he's above and beyond academic wise, like super smart, and it's very easy. But I do believe in doing homeschool every day. So even on the weekends we do, even on holidays we do homeschooling. So just because he's young, it's easier to like have a consistent routine every day. Every day we do this in some capacity. Every day you do a little bit of schoolwork. It's like an hour, if that. And obviously when we were really sick, we kind of put some stuff to the side, and that's okay. That's the beauty of homeschool, right? Is that you get to choose it. Like, we were super sick, so we just didn't do a lot of homeschool stuff, but now we're back on the uptrend, and so we're getting back into our routine of like doing schoolwork. My youngest even does a little bit of schoolwork. He's only 4, but we do a reading lesson every day with him. Yeah. Youngest every day also does a little bit of a reading lesson. He's only 4, but there was some jealousy factors of like one kid gets to play all day. One kid gets to play while the other one has to do some schoolwork, so there was some jealousy with that. I was like, fine then, everybody gets a little bit of a schoolwork lesson. So the youngest and me sit down, we do a little bit of a reading lesson. It takes a whole like 10-15 minutes. That's about it. And then we do a little bit of numbers work where I'll just like either have him count to 20 or we identify numbers like on flashcards. But I'm loving homeschooling. I am really enjoying like the freedom of it, being able to like chat about things throughout the day. Like I'm very much an unschooling kind of style. Like as things come up, we talk about it. So whether that being like learning about the development of a baby, talking about the seasons, that it's spring, what are we doing in spring, what are farmers doing in spring. Like those sorts of conversations are very easy to have. They're all around you, and I think just like taking advantage of like what's around you and having those like more in-depth conversations with your child can lead to a very simple unschooling style of learning. I do believe in like a little bit of the eclectic stuff where you're like supplementing with resources to help you with that. So for example, for us it's like math probably is one of the harder ones for me to like teach. So I got some resources from the library. We have a couple little like fractions magnetic boards that we're working on. He wants to learn French, so we're using an app for that. So just like using the resources based on what your kid is interested in, I think also can really help make homeschooling very fluid and really easy. And so that's kind of the style that we have been going with, and it's been working really well for our kids who are both very young at this point. Okay, and what I'm most excited to chat with you guys about is the baby. We're expecting baby number 3. I'm currently 28 weeks and some days. I feel like with the 3rd one, I'm always like, I don't even know how pregnant I am. I don't know how much is left. I have an app to tell me that. So I'm currently using the What to Expect app, which is very simple. It has cute things like it tells me that the baby is the size of a head of lettuce, and then it's got other resources and links on it. This isn't like a paid advertisement. I'm just letting you know what I'm using. It's very simple, very clean, and yeah, I definitely like get a lot of comments. I think I'm big. I think I'm like I just feel like this one is sticking out. Like I feel like I'm jutting. But a lot of my friends are like, and people I tell that I'm pregnant are like, what? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm over halfway and it's coming soon. And yeah, but I don't show very much. Like, I don't show very much even like right before I'm due. So I don't know. And I also choose to wear looser clothing. Like, so I got rid of a lot of that clothing that was really tight. I've started to turn more kinesthetic, it seems, with my clothing. I used to choose really tight clothing, and now I'm like, sports bras and loose and large t-shirts, thank you very much. Like I don't know, it's just the phase that I'm in right now, mom life. This is my usual look, is like yoga pants and my t-shirt. Oh, and I gotta wear these are not them, underneath is them, but I always have to wear my knee-high compression stockings or socks because of my varicose veins. So with varicose veins, I've just been like trying to eat foods that help with blood circulation, like raspberries and almonds, rice. What was the other thing I read? Sunflower seeds. There's a few things. I'll list them. Foods that are good for varicose veins, but really you're just eating a lot of foods that are good for increasing blood circulation. I've been trying to increase my water intake, which means I have to go pee a lot. Pain in the butt. Because you're pregnant, you already have to go pee a lot, and I'm trying to increase it, etc., etc. I'm really trying to be conscientious and have leg up time. So I have to tell the kids all the time, it's like, mommy needs leg up time. I can play with you, but I'm gonna lay here with my leg up. So we're mostly talking, and that's how we play. I would say my cravings have slightly shifted. Before in my last video, I was like, the pickles and ice cream craving was like really hard, but I'm having trouble with dairy. So now I feel like a less pickles cravings, more ice cream cravings. So I'm trying to make sure I take my calcium supplement. But then it's also shifted to like high sugar and chocolate cravings, which I don't know if you know, but the top 2 cravings for pregnant women are pickles and chocolate. I was like, oh yeah, I had both of those. Separate times, but I had both of those. Everything in moderation, even moderation. I have gained about 5 to 7 pounds, somewhere in there. So I'm still working out quite a bit. Now that I have like sparingly more energy, I am working out probably 4 times a week. When I say working out, I'm like doing a little bit of cardio one day, a little bit of weights one day, yoga one day. Yeah, it's just I just kind of rotate it out depending on how I feel. Then I get restless legs at night and I can't sleep very well. So like I need to hit like the perfect 5,000, 6,000 step mark. Way too much, and other days I'm not walking nearly enough, so I'm trying to find that balance still. But I really value like working out and exercising, and like that's what makes me feel good. So I'm really trying to make sure that I do just a little bit of something every day, even if it is just some cardio. Or yeah, I've been doing Fit On for years, which is a free app, and that is my go-to. So if I feel like I only want a 10-minute workout, they have that, and I love it. I have definitely been feeling the baby kicks. Like crazy town is busy. All my babies were really busy in the womb and like vicious, like pummeling. Both of them have felt the baby moving and kicking, which is very cute, but they don't really, I don't know, my older one is more interested in feeling it move and that sort of thing. The younger one, he'll say he wants to feel the baby, but really he just wants to look at how giant my tummy is and then laugh at it and then like runs off. So it's like he's interested but not, so we'll see how that all flows. But it is really cute that they are old enough to experience that and see the changes in the body, and yeah, be curious about that. The hubby and then we're talking about the body and the baby and like some more like anatomy stuff and like biology stuff. So that was really cute, and yeah, I think it's like it's happening right in front of you. This is like perfect learning, homeschool learning experience. I want to share with you guys these really funny ultrasound pictures and videos that I got, because like they spook the children. Maybe it'll spook you too, but it's like these videos are really funny because one of them is the baby like basically drinking or like swallowing the amniotic fluid, and it's really cool. I've never seen this before, so I wanted to share it with you just because I think it's really neat to see. I don't know, you tell me. And then the other one we have is like the baby basically playing peekaboo, because it came in and out of the ultrasound view, so it looks like it's playing peekaboo, but because of the way the face is shaped, it's like a skeleton basically playing peekaboo. So it's a little frightening. It scared the children, of course, but it was really funny in the moment. And the other thing I wanted to chat with you guys really quickly about was that I have a midwife, which I alluded to a little bit earlier there. I have a midwife this round. I didn't have a midwife with my first 2. I applied to a maternity clinic before with my first 2, and I had like a general practitioner who specialized in babies and birth and prenatal, etc., etc. So, and she was awesome. I loved her. I love that doctor. They had a team of doctors, so actually that doctor didn't deliver either of my 2 children, but she was my kind of person, and it worked out really well. I had a really great experience with her, and then I delivered both of my first 2 in a hospital, and my bane was that there was nothing wrong with me or the children, the babies, when we did the labor and the birth, and then I just wanted to go home. But I hated having to sit there for 24 hours. And like that drove me nuts when there was nothing wrong and I was like, hey, I'm ready to go home. It's like, oh no, you need to do this test and that test. You have to wait the full 24 hours, blah, blah, blah. It's like, hey, I just want to go home. That is why I am choosing to pursue a midwife and hopefully have a home birth this time. Totally different. I don't know very many people who have had a home birth. I have since met a few more people just because you're pregnant, you talk to people, it comes up. So now I know 2 people who have had home births, and I know several people now who have had midwife experiences. So with getting a midwife, you have to start with applying. So the first thing you have to do is apply or submit a request on the Alberta Midwives website. And in that application, you obviously already have to be pregnant. You apply and you can choose your top midwife clinics that you would like, and you can even specifically choose which midwife you want. So that was the benefit of, like, if you know somebody who has had a midwife experience, like, that is how I do it. I'm like, oh, you've had a midwife experience, who is your midwife, and tell me all the pros and cons, and then I'll just go from there. So that's what I did. I asked a friend, phone a friend style, is that Jeopardy? Phone a friend. And I got sucked into a little bit of like researching midwives and their backgrounds or whatever, but then I was like, oh my gosh, this is too much. So I just picked a location, or the locations that were closest to my proximity, and those were my top choices. I think my top two choices were proximity based, and then the third one was the recommendation from a friend, which actually ended up being like a fairly close in proximity as well. So that worked out really well. I think I applied around like 5 to 7 weeks pregnant, somewhere in there. I had had a miscarriage before this one, so I didn't want to apply too early, but I didn't want to apply too late, because you're picked from a pool. So the longer you wait, the less chances you have of being picked from the pool. So I wanted to like have good chances, but also not have a miscarriage in between. So anyway, I applied, and actually within a week, I had 2 midwifery clinics reach out back to me. So I was very lucky, and I got to choose between them. So then I did more research into those 2 clinics and the people that I was being, the midwives that I was basically having to choose as my option. So anyway, went with one, have loved it, have loved this midwife experience. It is very different from a doctor's experience, I would say. I also feel like she is catering to me because this is my 3rd baby. So it's very like, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty chill, it's number 3. So, you know, just tell me when I have to go for the testing and whatnot. She's been awesome though. I love the chill style. We don't take measurements or weight measurements or anything like that, so I'm just like, it's easier for me to just like not care or know about all of that information, because in my previous experiences with babies, like I actually will lose a little bit of weight during pregnancy, and then it starts to come back, but then they're always on me like, oh, you're losing too much weight, you need to eat more, and it's like I'm just going with what my body feels. And so I always struggle with that, where they're like, you're losing too much weight. Like super easygoing. Like we're on a texting basis. One appointment, I was supposed to go into the office, but the weather was terrible. So she was like texting me. She's like, do you really want to come in? I was like, not really. I don't have any urgent problems. She's like, let's do a phone call appointment. I was like, yep, done. So we had a 10-minute phone call chat. It was so chill. I was like, yeah, this is my style. It's easy for me. I already have 2 kids and we're homeschooling, so I'm busy. So sometimes it's like driving in for an appointment is inconvenient. So I'm very happy that she's just been very accommodating. The midwives are awesome because they just leave a lot of choice up to you. So choice as in like, you can choose to have a home birth, or you can choose to have the baby at a birthing center, or you can choose to have a midwife but have a birth at a hospital. All of those options are open to you. There's not one particular good way or bad way. It's just what you want, that's what I want. I want a choice. I want the freedom of the choice. Some midwives only have privileges at certain hospitals in the city, so that is something that I wasn't aware of. And yeah, I mean, like, it's neither here nor there. If you specifically want to have your birth at a certain hospital and your midwife doesn't have privileges, that's a problem. So I got a response back within a week from 2 midwife clinics, whereas the other person that I know that had applied to get a midwife and got one, she told me that she didn't get a response. So then she ended up actually emailing the midwife clinics directly, so that helped speed along like her midwife application. So I mean, like, I got really lucky, and I was very happy that I got responses back within a week, and I was very happy with the options that were given to me. So if I guess you're on that journey and you don't hear back from a midwife clinic, the option is there to email them directly, and it did work for my friend. So that's something to be said about that too. Going on in our world, like, I'm still on the sourdough train. I'm still baking sourdough like once or twice a week. I have started making my own bread more frequently. I got a recipe for that, and we've been really liking it. So I make 2 loaves of bread, just regular bread, and then I slice it and then freeze it, and then we eat everything out of the freezer. It's much easier. So then we've been doing, I've been making my own bread every, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks, which is really cool. So instead of buying it, I've been doing that. Else with the baby, also, we've been working on transitioning. So we have rooms upstairs, and the 2 boys have their own separate rooms, but I want them to combine rooms so that the baby will have its own room. We don't know the gender either, by the way. We're gonna be doing a gender reveal party. So the rooms, so we have the 2 rooms. We want the boys to share a room. So my hubby decided to build another bed. So we have 1 bed, and then we're gonna have another bed. And so we thought we better work on getting this done right away here, so the older one can transition into the newest bed, and then the young one can transition into the other bed, and then they need practice sleeping in the same room together, because my youngest one still even takes naps pretty much every other day. I don't know, we got 6, so then now it's back on for every day. And so yeah, I needed to like get the transition happening, because I don't want to be fighting with all of that and the new baby and setting up the crib and everything else. So we've already got the bed built, and we are working on the transitioning, which is going pretty well actually. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. It's a bit like being on holidays. Like, you never know if we're gonna actually have a nap or not, and we're just gonna end up going to bed like wicked early, which is fine too. I'm okay with everyone going to bed like a full hour earlier than normal, but it just means our evenings are cut a little bit shorter as well usually. Thanks so much for watching, guys, watching my Chatty life update. I don't do very many of these, but if you are interested in like anything specific that I talked about, most things I have a separate video on about, but I hope you, like I said, I hope you enjoyed just hearing a little bit about where things are at with us, what's going on in our world, and thanks again so much for watching and tuning in.